so that the environment doesn't become noisy for everybody. Okay, let's start the introduction with Ahmed. I will introduce myself at the end, guys. My name is Sajjad Sayyed, and I'm your trainer. I will introduce myself in the end. Introduction. Judy, you can hear?
Yes. Hi, my name is Judy. Judy Lazatin. I am working with the Gas Exporting Countries Forum based in Qatar. As I'm working as a budget and accounting officer. And what I expect from the course is to be able to improve our financial reports in terms of the presentations and the Excel tricks in order to improve our reports.
Okay, Judy, I guess you were in one of our previous programs, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, we had this Excel also.
Advanced financial modeling, right?
Yeah, advanced financial modeling.
And which session was that? When did this program conclude? I think
just last month. Yeah,
yeah,
it's just most recent.
Yeah. Okay. And what motivates you to come back for this program, or what you say, for preparation info, and for me, you are selecting the same trainer and the same training provider, so there must be some motivation behind that, right?
Yeah, we because we are very motivated to improve our reporting presentations. So this will be very useful for us.
Very good. Okay. Welcome back. That's what I should say, I think.
Thank you. Thanks.
Who else? Ahmed, can you hear me now? Ahmed still cannot hear me. Okay, Buhari.
Good afternoon, Sajjad.
Good afternoon, Buhari. How are you?
I'm
Welcome
fine,
back.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and happy to meet you again.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Okay, for we have at the moment, I think we have total 5 participants in this program, but at the moment there are 2 new and 2 old guys. And so you introduce yourself for everybody. Your name, where you are based, your job level, and what do you expect from this course? What is your actual knowledge before this, and all that. Yes, Buhari.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking to everyone.
I was talking.
My name is Buhari Abdullahi. Currently, I'm working with the Gas Exporting Countries Forum based in Doha. My job level is Senior Financial Coordinator in the Administration and Finance Department.
Okay, welcome. We have, I see on the screen, and forgive me if I pronounce your name, Muffin. I cannot. Mr. Lazarus.
Okay.
That's a difficult name for me to pronounce, at least for the first time.
Yeah, no. It's okay. It's okay. I know it's very difficult. Yeah. Okay. My name is Lazarus. You can call me Lazarus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I am based in Pretoria, South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah. I work as a regional head of finance and administration for an organization called IUCN, the World Conservation Union.
Okay.
Yeah. So my motivation to join this course is to improve on presentations, especially these dashboards.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my. Thank you.
Welcome. And this is your first time. This is your first time with Preparation Info and with me. Are you?
Yeah,
you have
sure.
also.
It was my first time here.
Okay. All right, and we have one more participant, Ahmed. Ahmed, can you hear me now? I don't know. Ahmed was talking to me before, but maybe he's not in front of his computer. Okay. So what we will do is I'll share my screen now, and we will start the presentation. I will introduce myself, and then we'll take it forward from there. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Judy and Buhari, you know me, but for the new participants, Lazarus, when you speak, you switch on your mic, and once you are done speaking, please mute your mic so that everybody can hear as well. And guys, it is advisable to use a headphone rather than speaking through your computer's mic, because that way the voice, everybody hears the resonance of the voice, and it is not clear. So it is better if you speak through your headphones. Okay. Just for the sake of introduction, my name is Sajjad Haider Sayed. Uh, I am I call myself these days as a data visualization enthusiast. So I'm an enthusiast, I'm learning, and this is actually my ploy of learning. What I want to learn, I start thinking of teaching that, because what I learn, if I can explain that to somebody else, that means my learning is good. So you guys will be the judges of this one, whether I can explain things well or not. And it's very encouraging for me to see two very recent participants of another program coming back to join this. That means they did gain something out of that program, and so they decided to join us again. I am an MBA and a CPA, and in my job level, I reached the Chief Financial Officer level. And on the side, I have an experience of teaching in universities as a visiting faculty member, 17, 18, 20 years. And I have taught many subjects in finance and accounting and strategic management, investment banking. And I have also taught the short programs like financial modeling and risk assessment, and this preparing dashboard for through Excel. And this particular course is my creation. The other courses I teach, they came to me as designed and developed courses, and I improved them. Like the dashboard course, like the advanced financial modeling course that I teach, I improve on that. But that's not be uh, a 12 hours course, 3 hour sessions, 4 sessions of 3 hours each. And the previous sessions I took, I actually had 4 dashboards, and I went through those 4 dashboards and completed during the program. I don't complete all of them. I do a few with you, and then I think the best practice is to for a child to hold the child's finger, and or let the child hold your finger and walk. But at some point in time, you have to then let the child walk by themselves also. uh, these days these examples are coming fresh to my mind, because I have a um, almost 11 months old grandson, so I see him in this phase. So if you find me giving this kind of example too much, bear with me. Okay, so I will complete a few dashboards with you, and a few of them then I will do halfway through, and I will let you complete it. But then I will let you send your work to me and I'll evaluate. And if there are any gaps, then I can fill those gaps. As always, feel free to interrupt me anytime and ask your questions. Your questions will enrich this program as much as possible. Because what I think of and what I know, I will try to transfer that knowledge. But my knowledge enrichment and everybody else's knowledge enrichment will come through your intelligent questions and the new areas that you want to explore. You are always welcome to ask me any questions, anything. I may not know all the answers, but together we will try to find the answers. That is my commitment, that we will find the answers and we'll try to satisfy all the queries. Even if we cannot solve it during the program, even after that we'll continue to be in touch, and we will try to solve your queries, and maybe practical work level help also that we can provide. Okay, so if anybody has a question, you can ask. I see a name Ashish. This Ashish from the management, or it's a participant? Can I hear from Ashish? If Ashish, Ashish, can you hear me? Okay, this is you. Okay.
I think it's from the management.
Yeah, it's from the management. Yes.
Because he has been sending messages to us on WhatsApp.
Yeah. I know, but I thought maybe another participant is Ashish, because we have now two people from the management, Ashish and Preparation Info. Okay. Anyways, guys, I have this very short introduction, and because this dashboard is more of a practical learning thing, so we don't have too much of presentation and theory, but we have a very short presentation, and I'll quickly go through this, and then we will get into the practical work of uh, preparing a dashboard. So this here is a basic introduction of what a dashboard is. A dashboard is a visual interface that provides at a glance view into key measures relevant to a particular subject, object, or a business process. Dashboards have uh, three main attributes. Now, dashboard, as we are all familiar with the word dashboard, is what you see when you sit in a car. What you see in front of you is a dashboard, and there is an instrument panel. These days, very elaborate instrument panels kind of in front of you, and if you happen to ever sit in a self-driven car, you will find a new word there. But what you see on the dashboard generally is a few gauges and few lights that indicate the health of the car, and if there is a problem, or even these days, if there is a problem expected to come up in the next few weeks or months, sometimes the car starts indicating that also. But on that dashboard, you see at a glance the fuel level, the temperature level, and the speed. These are the most critical items in your car. If the fuel level is running low and you are on a highway and you think that there may not be another gas station in next 100 kilometers, you should then try to find the first one and fill up on your gas. And if the temperature is increasing, then you have to take care of that. And if the speed is going above the speed limit in the area you are driving in, and there are speed cameras, then you have to be careful of those speed cameras and those things. So that is the at a glance information that you see on a dashboard. So in a computer dashboard, what we are trying to do, we are trying to put those critical pieces of information in a screen, at one screen, and that screen can be then viewed by your target audience, and they get that critical information on that dashboard. The elements, number one, dashboards are typically graphical in nature, providing visualization that help focus attention on key trends, comparisons, and exceptions. Uh, Although it's not kind of prohibited to have data and numbers on your dashboard, and sometimes that data and numbers does provide a lot of information and help you to understand what is going on in that particular business. But normally dashboards are pictures and charts and graphs, and those pictures and charts and graphs then help you to understand the story of the data. Data these days, as you may be familiar, uh, we work with thousands and thousands of rows and columns of data, and to understand the story of data you need well summarized and well created structure that will help you to understand the trend and what is the story that data is trying to tell. First of all, you have to understand that story yourself, and then you have to create a dashboard that makes others understand that story. Okay, then dashboards often display only data that are relevant to the goal of the dashboard. Now, the dashboard, as I said, we are trying to create a single screen without scrolling up, down, or left, right. So there is a limitation, and there is you will see dashboards that are cluttered, and there is too much put on that dashboard. Now, that also does not really uh, make it a useful dashboard. Dashboard should have all the information that is needed, and it should not be cluttered. It should be uh, good and pleasing to view also. So you have to give only relevant information and not all the information that can be extracted from that data. And you have to keep in mind the perspective of your user of that dashboard also. If that user is uh, if that user is like an operations manager, you have to give him his relevant information. If the user is finance manager, you have to give that information relevant to that finance manager. So you have to keep in mind what was the user of the information. And the last point here is because dashboards are designed with a specific purpose or goal, they inherently contain predefined conclusions that relieve the end user from performing his own analysis. Now, this is a kind of half truth, this last statement. uh, Dashboards sometimes are created to be used as part of the uh, information management system of the company, and that information that is available on that dashboard is used as a basis of decisions also. But most of the time, it is the crux of that analysis and the result of that analysis, and the user should not require further dig down or further detailed analysis, and they should be able to make a decision. Just as an example, as I said, you are in a car and the car indicates you that your fuel level is not enough to uh, run on this road for another 100 kilometers, and your Google map pointer is telling you that next gas station will be at 150 kilometers after the one coming at after 10 kilometers. So your decision is already done. You have to stop at the gas station coming in next 10 kilometers, and you have to fill up. And that is the decision made for you. So the information should be that critical on that dashboard that the user has to make a decision on the basis of that. I hope you understand the example I'm using. Yeah, so dashboard maybe will have some information that the user may have to further process, but most of the time it's a processed and result that can form that the user can form quick decisions on. Here are some dashboard basics. Guys, you can ask questions anytime if something doesn't make sense. Ahmed, you're back.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can I interrupt, sir?
Yes, sure.
Sir, actually, this is Leland, accountant here. So, in behalf of Mr. Ahmad, he just left for an emergency meeting today. So he just informed that maybe he can attend by tomorrow only.
You can tell him that this session is being recorded, and
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
provide, he will get the recording of the session, so he can follow from that recording what he misses today. And he's welcome to join back to tomorrow, but you can leave the session on for him if you want. But
Yeah, yeah.
in any case, he will get the recording.
Okay, that's good, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And you can turn off the mic. Okay. I see.
Yes,
I
sir. Yeah.
see. Okay. I see a participant just joined. Goldman, Gladman. Gladman, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm Leland, sir. I'm Leland.
yes, Leela.
Yeah.
You can close your mic and leave it. I'm talking to others now.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Gladman, you can hear? All right, guys. This is what I was saying. Uh, these are a few basics. First of all, before even we start putting our dashboard together, we have to understand who our audience will be. And that will be the starting point where we will decide what we want to put on that dashboard. Okay. Now, again, in the car example, that information is for the, I am, okay. Welcome, Gladman. Can you hear? Can you hear us? I think he has, yes. You have to fix your mic and speaker issues. Okay, very good. So you can hear me. So that's fine. Okay. Welcome to the session. All right. So guys, the information that is being displayed in a car dashboard is the critical information for the driver. Maybe other passengers in the back seat or in the front, they may be interested in other things, but the driver has to remain concentrated on that information that is being provided by in the dashboard. So you have to establish what your target audience requires, and based on that, you will once you have established your audience, then you will come to the second point and you will establish the purpose. Uh, that purpose of the dashboard when will then go to the next step, and you will delineate the measures that you want to show on that dashboard. And measures means the the visualizations or the data that you are going to show. Sometimes are called measures also. And then you catalog the required data after you have established the audience and the purpose of the dashboard and the measures that you want to put on that dashboard. Then you will start looking for the data, what data is required. And then you will define the dimensions of that data, and then you will concentrate on the design and efficiency and make it visually appealing. And then you can uh, you know all that process is I'm saying in a few sentences only. There are a few sentences on the screen, but this is I would say, if not more, at least 20 to 30% of the dashboard job that you have to perform here. You have to establish the audience, who you are going to present it to, and what is the purpose, what is the kind of information they are going to require to reach to the decisions they are going to make. And then uh, you have to look for the data. Now the data uh, is maybe a limiting factor or maybe an enabling factor also. I use the two words alternatively, a limiting or an enabling factor, because too much data, if the data is available and the practitioner, I'm using the word for practitioner that will be you who will be creating a dashboard. And if the practitioner is an experienced practitioner, that he can extract the required information from that data. But if the data is deficient and you don't have the required information that you intend to put on your dashboard, then either you have to redo your dashboard design, or you have to try to find the ways to get through that data limitation and try to create the desired information. Sometimes you can do that by creating manipulations within data. Just for the sake of example, if your data has the quantity of sales and the sales price, but it does not contain the revenue, you can get the information about the revenue from that from the required information. But if the data that is presented to you does not have the quantity sold, only the sales price, and does not have the revenue also, then it is not possible for you to estimate the revenue. Because to estimate revenue, you need both the drivers, which are the quantities and the sale prices, and that will help you to find out the revenues. So data has to be complete, reasonably complete, if I may use the word, in order to present or prepare a good dashboard. Then you have to define your dimensions. The dimensions means the areas of the data that you are going to use in your dashboard. And design efficiency, I'm just skipping through these things because we'll talk about these things when we create the dashboard actually. But just by looking at these words, it is difficult to explain or not very interesting also. And then we have to make it visually appealing. And then the last but not the least, a dashboard is not something that you fix for life. Dashboard can be done in uh, for a reasonably good amount of time, but there is always a change. Your data changes, so your dashboard has to be dynamic. When the data changes, your dashboard should be able to take that change in. And if the when the data is kind of uh, there is some addition to data, like you have 4 salespeople and your dashboard is taking care of the information for those 4. If a fifth there the changes in the data can be that every month they will generate new sales. But if you hire a fifth salesperson, then that data will expand even further. So all kind of possible changes your dashboard should be able to absorb. So that is the room for change. We will not talk too much on this. I will show you a dashboard, and uh, we will we will take it forward from there. And before I open the dashboard, we have a question about the timing. Uh, as I said, the way I designed this course, I designed it to be a 12 hours course, uh, 4 sessions of 3 hours each. Is this good enough for all of us, or somebody expects to make a change? Anybody?
Sorry, come
Any?
again.
Uh, my my uh, thought process when I designed this course was that this should be a 12 hours course, which means 3 hours sessions, 4 sessions of 3 hours each. So we are open to provide you a fifth session if there is a deficiency in the material that we covered or all of us agree that we need one more session. We can present that extra session also. But every session will be 3 hours. Is it okay for all of you? Anybody has an issue with that?
3 hours.
3 hours, yes.
Yeah, three
Okay,
hours is fine.
3 hours is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Starting
Anyone
today?
else?
Oh,
Yeah, today.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today's session will be 3 hours. So we will complete at, we started at my time, 3 o'clock. That means 12 GMT. And we'll finish at 3 GMT. That's okay with everybody?
Yeah, sure. It's fine with me. 3 hours, I think it's okay.
Yeah,
No, it's
4
okay.
hours. Yeah, 4 hours then becomes a bit too long and difficult to absorb, right? Okay. So this is agreed then. We are going to have uh, another 3 or 4 sessions, all starting at 12 GMT and ending at 3 GMT. Okay. And I will take one break in the middle for prayers, and then that should be enough. One break is enough. Okay. All right, guys. So this is an agreement. Everybody agrees. We have 3 or 4 more sessions after today, and all sessions will start at 12 GMT and end at 3 GMT. Okay, guys. This is the first dashboard that we are going to create, and this gives you the information about a particular call center. Uh, Lazarus, I need once you have spoken, please turn off your mic, mute your mic. Okay, guys, this is the information that we have about a call center performance. The idea is that the call center receives calls, and there are some critical factors of these call center that has to be in front of the eyes of the management at all times. So this interesting and beautiful looking colorful dashboard that we see on the screen is the hard work of somebody who created this for us, and we are going to replicate this dashboard, and we are trying to learn the process how to do this dashboard presentation. And uh, my target for this is, let's say, we should be able to do it in about 2.5 to maximum 3 hours, and that includes preparation of data for this, and making all these exotic pictures and all that. And there is a bit more to this rather than only showing the pictures. You see there is a bit of interactivity also in this dashboard, although this dashboard, everything in this dashboard is not interactive, but there are some interactive items. And this really fascinates me when you have this done for you and it is done well. You see this part is showing you the data from the months of July till December. Now you can pick a month through this drop down list. Now at the moment is showing July. If you show August, and this gauge indicator, keep an eye on this gauge indicator. This always is fascinating, and this is what it does. And for that particular month, whatever is the performance level, it will show the performance level, and we can see where things are reaching. And these call out, these are abandon rate and queues in seconds, and talk time in seconds. So this is the interactivity. And there is another interactivity in this dashboard, that you see this data is agent call time, and how much an agent is spending in terms of time on each call, on calls during this time frame. And these are the dates in the month of December. And here is a scroll bar, and that every day you can see how much time each agent is spending on calls. And you can see if there is 0, that means maybe that agent was not on the job that day, or that agent didn't pick up any calls or something. That at a glance you can see. And the rest of the dashboard is static. It's not dynamic, but it's for this particular dashboard. We create dashboards that are fully dynamic also. So this is what we are going to create. And for this, uh, I would ask you to open your file from the folder that you have received, and the folder name is data for sorry, this is your folder at uh, interactive Excel dashboards. Within this interactive Excel dashboards, this is the first file, and this is bespoke DV1 call center performance. So please open this file. Dashboard for you here, because that gives you an idea what we have to prepare in this particular session. And this is the kind of your guiding light for this dashboard. uh, and here we have the blank sheets. On this sheet we will create our dashboard, and this is the data, guys. And just for the sake of understanding data, what we have here is 6 months calls data. And let's familiarize this with this data first. We have a call ID. So this is what happens in call centers. Most of the call centers, they every call has an ID, because they need to keep a track of that. Then call date, then customer ID who called, and you will see some blanks also, because sometimes the customer does not have an ID or does not feed in the ID. So still the call can go through. Then priority, what is the priority of this call? High, low, medium. uh, Query type, what was the type of the query? These are the options, 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys are all familiar with the call center. When you call a call center, they will ask you, if you want to do this, press 1, if you want to do that, press 2, like that. So these are the query types. This is IVR start. This is IVR in call center stands for interactive voice response. So this is the time when an agent picks the call and starts interacting with the caller. So this is the IVR start, IVR finish, and this is IVR time. How much time was spent on IVR in terms of seconds? This is in terms of seconds. Okay. Then queue. Was this call put on a queue? And what time it was put on queue? What time the queue finished? How much? What was the queue time? Then uh, agent. Here it says yes or no only. Was there an agent involved in this call or not? Okay. Then agent start. What time the agent started interacting, and what time the agent ended the interaction. Then agent time. How much time did the agent spend on this call? And what was the name of the agent? We have like 8 or 9 agents in this call center, and these are the agent names. And then uh, there must be a satisfaction level at the end. Maybe the system requires the caller to put a satisfaction level. So if the caller does go to that level and that responds, then that satisfaction level will appear here. And then the last, was the query resolved or not? Okay, so this is the information in this calls list. And this information, as you can see, goes up to column R. And for the sake of understanding the data quantity, let's go to the bottom of the data and see how many calls we have. Now I'm pressing shift and down arrow. And if I push shift control and down arrow, I go to the end of the call. And you see, guys, we have 46,383 rows. Now, this is the quantum of data that we are encountering in this particular exercise. We have 46,383 rows. That means our first row is the data starting from row 4, fourth row. So even if we remove the first 3 rows, that means 46,380 rows of data is available for us to summarize and work with. And that is what I keep referring to during my dashboard, advanced financial modeling course, that there are times when you have huge data, and you have to apply some formulas and functions on that data to get to make it meaningful for the readers and users. And this is the opportunity that we have to use now, the knowledge that we have of our advanced functions and formulas, and that knowledge we are going to apply to create sufficient data, and to structure the data in a way that we can show finally in the form of this interesting looking colorful dashboard. Okay, now that is our target. And we will start preparing the data first. And even before, we can we can start delineating our dashboard. We can guys, the admin has sent the email, so you should check your emails with on which you were communicating with them, so that uh, you can start working with me. When you receive it, this is the first file, db1 call center performance, and I have this file here. Okay, before we go on the preparation of data, let's look at the dashboard elements that we have on this particular platform. The top row here, this first part where the name appears, call care call center analysis. I just put this call care name just to make it sound interesting. This is this name, or I call it a banner. This is the banner where you can put the name of your dashboard, or maybe kind of an introductory hint that what this dashboard is about. So this is call care call center analysis from July 2020 to December 2020. So fairly recent. So that is the starting point. Now there are 5 pictures or 5 measures that are presented in the second banner, and this is the average calls per month. This is number 1. Then a this is average response rate. This is the uh, ASA actually stands for the as quick as the call is picked, how quickly the call is picked, and this is presented in seconds. And this is that means on average calls are picked in 55 seconds. Then this is the response rate, how quickly we responded. And actually, what is the percentage of response? How many calls were received and how many calls were responded? So that is your percentage of response. Then service level. Service level means there is a standard of minimum service provision. So did we meet that minimum standard or not? So that is your service level. And the last one here is abandon rate. If the call was abandoned, and we have some message. Okay, do you guys received the email? Can you check, please?
Not yet.
Not yet. I think they are having some server issues. They are trying to send it.
I have received.
You received? Okay, good. So that means things are working. Uh, you will receive in a few seconds if others who haven't received yet. Okay. As I was saying, the last one here is the abandon rate, and this abandon rate is if the call is not picked by any agent and the caller hung up before the call was picked. And there are a few small items here that gives you further hint into the performance. And each item, as I said, each item on this dashboard has to tell a story. And this is the standard actually for response time. This is the standard. It should be done within 35 seconds. And this red down arrow is telling you that this standard was not met actually in this particular case, in this particular time frame. This standard was not met. Average response time is 55 seconds rather than 35 seconds. The next, the response rate, the minimum required is 65, and the actual response rate was above 65, which is 78. So this green arrow is telling you that this is the standard, the requirement was met. Here again, in service level, 80% is the required level, and this red arrow is indicating that this was not met. And in abandon rate, this green arrow tells you that our performance is better than the standard. And the next graph here is showing you the agent satisfaction level. and this red line is actually the target. This agent satisfaction level should be at 3.2, I guess. And this each agent, this is the satisfaction level of each agent. There is somebody else, BLS or BFS, whatever is the name, is the top ranking person, and this guy here is the lowest. So this is your service level indicator. You cannot see here because of the color, but there are some spark lines here. These are this is the performance trend of each agent. When we'll create in a different color so that we can see what this agent is doing and what it looks like. But there are faint lines here. You can make out the trend. That means during all these months, if the agent's performance was improving or declining. So that we will see here. And these pop-outs here, they will show you the performance of abandon rate. But this abandon rate is overall abandon rate for the entire data period, which is from July to December. But this abandon rate here is for the month selected. So interactively, you can select a month, and that you will get the abandon rate in this month. This is the queue in seconds, and this is the talk time again in seconds. So you will get for this particular month, and this is the service level. This service level again is for the entire period, and this service level will be for the selected month. And this interesting gauge chart will tell you whether it is in the red area or green or yellow. And the last part of here is the numbers, and this is the time an agent spends on each call, or the total time spent by agent on the calls. Interestingly, here it is showing 0 because it is may not be linked with some data, but this is what we are going to create. So this is the kind of dashboard, guys, that we are going to create, and we will start now, and we will start with the creation of the environment of this dashboard. Okay, any questions up to this? Anybody wants to make a comment or any suggestion or anything you want to say? You checked your emails, you received your files. Everybody received files
Not yet.
still? But if
Not yet.
Not yet. The file is too big on my side. I received a notification that is too big.
Yeah. Edwin, try sending only this file, the file I'm using now, DB1 call center performance, bespoke DB1 call center performance. Please try to send this file today, so that if people cannot get the entire folder, they can receive this at least one file. So maybe sending one by one is a good idea. Send only this file. Please send this file and confirm so that people can start working on this. So they are on it now, guys. Okay, so you should receive this file one today. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to start preparing the environment for this particular dashboard. Okay, and once we have the basic environment set, then we will start creating the data for this environment, and then we'll prepare the dashboard. Okay, now keep in mind, and I'm just telling you the minimum or the kind of mindset that we should have. What we are going to do in these sessions, we are going to do some uh, uh, shapes and designs and formatting things, and some advanced functions in data manipulations also. So both these things are advanced level things from what we have done in our advanced financial modeling, but we will tap on the resources that we made ourselves familiar with during our financial modeling program, and maybe there'll be some new formulas also that we will learn during this. That's why it is a step above the advanced financial modeling program. Okay, here is the blank sheet, guys, and I want to create my dashboard on this blank sheet. The very first lesson, when I start creating a dashboard, first thing what I do is I keep my view at 100%. So view is 100%. So I can enlarge and I can expand the screen, but the best practice to keep your view at 100%, and that will get you the idea of your target user or end user, or the how this dashboard will look once you have completed the dashboard. Okay. Now, guys, admin has sent you the file, only file that we are working today on. Okay, and the rest they should send. Once we are done with the session, please send the other 4 files separate emails, please, so that people don't have this issue. Okay, so this is lesson number 1. Start with the 100% view, and now because our dashboard is a cool black background dashboard, so what I will do is I will just select the entire sheet and I'll fill it with black background. This is the canvas I want to work on. Then this looks interesting. Now to make our dashboard stand out a bit, what we are doing, we are putting kind of light gray or a bit darker gray shades banners on this. So this will be our performance level. This is where we put our dashboard. I'm leaving this one column A, and I'm leaving row 1, and I'm starting from my cell B2, and this B2 is my starting point of the dashboard. What I want to do is I want to take 3 rows, and you see here uh, we have 5 elements that are displayed on this one. These are the 5 elements, and so this banner has to be something that will accommodate these 5 banners. So what I will do, I will select 3 columns for each banner. Okay, and if that is the case, if I have the 3 banners, 3 cells for each of them, then what will be the total number of columns? That will be 15. So let me start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I'll go to P and I'll take 3 rows. I've selected this. Now what I'm going to do, I will fill this with a dark gray color. So that is my first banner. Something, people are coming and going, something is happening. Anyways, as long as everybody can hear me, that's fine. Guys, if you don't hear me, please interrupt and tell me that there is an issue, and we will resolve that. Okay, so now I have the first banner. I will put the second banner, and second banner I'm going to start from row 6, and I will go up to row 13. That planning has been done for me. I have done this planning for you guys actually, and you can see from the example that we have given you that this is how you create. Here I left these row numbers and column headers deliberately so that you can see what we are doing here. Now this second part of the dashboard comes to row number 13, and from row 16 we start the third part and we go down to row number 36. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start from row number 16, and I'm going down right up to row number 35, and I will go across to my column P, and this is, I will fill it again with gray color. So this is the start of my 15 also should be included. So this is the starting point of my dashboard, guys. This is the kind of dashboard that it looks now. we have delimited these 3 areas. This will be the banner, this will be the efficiency part, and this will be the bottom part. And we have to divide the bottom part now. But before, I'll go back to 100% view. Yes. So this is the very basic, and this is the beginning. So we have done the first part. Now we need to divide this bottom part into 2, and you see there is a line here in between. Now sometimes what people do, they will take a column and reduce the column size, and just change the fill of that column. But you can do that. But in this particular dashboard, what we have done, we are going to put a line, and that line we will insert, and we'll go to shapes, and in the shapes we will take a straight line, and we will add this straight line somewhere here, which is in column, and at the in between column I and J. So if I start from here, I can, so see, if I do like that, my line is always difficult to keep it straight. So I'll undo this, and I'll try to uh, do a straighter line, insert shape, line, and I want to insert line between I and J. And is it between I and J, or yeah, it's between I and J. Okay, so I want to start from here, and I'll hold my shift down, and that will make my line straight. That makes my line straight. Did it? Yes. And now I have a line which is now going from here to here, but we cannot see it because it's blue color and very thin line. So first of all, I'll change the color to black, and I want to change the shape of the line. And shape of the line, I will go to weight, and the weight I want to add is let's go to 4.5 points. Okay, so now this part is done also. So the look of my dashboard is this now. Now this is the areas that I want to divide it in: 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these are the 4 areas that we have done. Okay, so very simple. I just changed the entire sheet background to black. Then I selected the banner area. This is 3 rows and 15 columns. This banner area, I changed the background to gray, and then I selected the other area, that is the 6 and from 6 to 13, and the same number of columns, and the remaining from 15 to 36. I just changed the background. So this is the main background work is done. And to divide the bottom part, we just put a line here, and we change the thickness of the line to 4.5. You can make 5 or 6 or 3, whatever suits you. The final part here, we have these rows, and if I select these 2 rows and change their height, they will also look like these lines rather than rows. They will give you the impact of these lines. So if I want to select this, and if I hold down shift, control, and select the second row, now these two rows are selected. If I go here, reverse click, and I want to format rows, and if I go to format painter here is the format, and this format, I want to format row height. This is the row height, and row height I'll make 4.5 because I made the line thickness 4.5. So I'll make this row height also 4.5. So it looks like the same line now. This line and this line is the same. So this gives you the kind of uniform look on these lines. Okay, uh, here, for the sake of starting my job, what I'll do, I'll just write a name, call care call center performance. Now it's black and I cannot see it, So I'll change the color to white. Did it work? No. Color white. And I'll change the fonts to Arial black, which is a thicker kind of font, and I want to make it okay. Let's leave it. I don't want to make it too big because it will take more space, and we want to work with space. So call here, call center. Now, guys, you need to center it. There are the normal method to center something is you just select the area, and what you do, you press this merge and center, and it will merge and put it in the center. But we want to remain, then we cannot work with these columns separately. We cannot delete a column, we cannot insert a column, because some part of the area will be merged cells. So in order to keep the cells separate and still show this in the middle, uh, what you can do is you can go in the alignment here, main alignment region, and inside this alignment, the first window that appears is general. So instead of general, here is the selection. It says select across center across selection. Now if I do this, now we have centered across the selection, but our text write up is in this cell, and it is centered here, and all the cells are separately manipulatable also. So this does not affect the structure of our sheet, and it is not, the cells are not merged, but still it is centered in the cell. So this is a new trick, and the first trick of the day actually. The next thing that we want to do is, in this sample here, we have these five pictures, or five depictions, and these three are other depictions. This is a chart, this is also a chart, and this is the data set. So the pictures, or the depictions that we have, we will make placeholders for these depictions, and then we will go to link the data with them. Okay, so the placeholders, the first placeholder that I want to put here is this rectangle. So let's do this rectangle thing first, and actually we'll put five rectangles, and then we'll try to convert these rectangles into the graph. Okay, guys, did you guys receive the file, the only Excel file?
Not yet.
Yeah, received.
Okay, so very good. If you received it, you can start opening the file and start working with us. Yes, Buhari, you didn't receive?
No, not yet.
You guys are using your company email? Maybe there's an issue
Yes.
with the server,
Yes,
and
we are using.
that server is maybe denying the access of this kind of file. Maybe there are some Excel functions in this file which, I told you sometimes the security does not, website security does not allow the pass through of some kind of files. But you
But
have,
what we suggest is maybe if they could send it like a day before the session, so that at least
yeah,
we are prepared with the
yeah,
file.
yeah, yeah. This is what we will do for tomorrow. The files, admin should send the files tonight or early morning tomorrow at least, so that you have the files beforehand. That should be done, yes. And what we will do, normally for financial modeling, we don't provide the completed files, but we'll give you completed files of this session also, so that you have, you can see what we did during the session, and that is in front of your eyes when you are working. But don't start replicating it. Try to work independently, and just try to see the end result through this. And if you don't receive these files today, the guys who don't receive, because some of you have received, that means the system is working from preparation info side. The files are going out, but maybe your company server is not allowing. So if you can share with them your Gmail or other personal mails, maybe they can send the files through that. but you have to work with admin on this matter. Okay, what I was saying, now I am going to place 5 placeholders in this second banner here and 3 placeholders in this last portion of our dashboard so that we can link it with the data then. First of all, I will insert a shape and I'm going to use this rounded corner rectangle, and this rounded corner rectangle I will put somewhere here, and I will make it centered, not covering all the 3 what you call columns, but somewhere to be centered between B and D almost. So this is the placing of my first placeholder. Okay, now instead of entering these 5 placeholders, what I can do is I can add these 5 places, but what I will do is I'll simply replicate them and distribute on this panel so that we have these 5 places done automatically. So I have selected this. I will press down Control, and if I press D, that duplicates the shape. One more time, but before I do this, I will delete and I will change, make a bit of change. This color is blue. That's fine. I can change the shape, or I can have a bit different color also. But you see this blue is a little different blue. It is lighter at the top and darker at the bottom. So I'll use this. I can use anyone of you can use anyone you like, any color you fancy, and we will once you are happy with the shape of the picture that you want to show, we can move on. And this small different color ball, that actually changes the rounding of the corners. You see, you can make the corners round or less round or more round. That is by holding this. If you move it in this direction, it will make the corners more round, and that's fine. That's enough of playing with it. Now I'm going to duplicate this 5 times. I want this to be in 5 places. So Control and D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what I can do is I can pull them and put them in the places where I want them, each of them one by one. But rather than doing that, there is kind of a shortcut. And if I go to find and select, and in find and select, there is at the bottom select objects. Guys, I'm going slow because this is the first dashboard we are creating, and I want everybody to be with me so that we don't miss out on anything. So, okay. I just stopped to count the shapes. We have, I think, 1 extra shape. I have to delete that one. Yeah, now we have 4 here and 1 here. Now if I was here, I went to find and select. I did select objects. Now once it is done, select objects. If I draw a kind of an area like this, you see what happens. All the pictures in this area are selected. Okay, so rather than picking one by one, I have selected all of them in one go, and that comes from here, find and select, and here, select objects. So all the objects in this area are selected. Now what I want to do, I want to align them in the middle. So if I go to shape format, here is the alignment, and if I will align them in the middle. So they are all aligned in the middle. Okay, and now I want to distribute them equally, and here is the distribute horizontally. So all 5 of them are distributed horizontally. So actually what I did, I created only one picture. I duplicated this picture 5 times, and then I distributed equally in this area. So this is a bit below what I want it to be. So what if I do this? I'll just roughly pull them up, and I don't need to be precise. All I want, then I can again select all the objects like this, and I can again align them in the middle. So they get aligned in the middle. So all of them are aligned in the middle. They are all the same shape because it was one shape that we used, and the same shape is duplicated. So all shapes are the same, and they are distributed evenly, and they are at the same level. So that is kind of aesthetically pleasing also. They should be at the same level and at the same size and dimensions also. This one is done. The second shapes that we want in this dashboard are these call out symbols, and these call out symbols again we will bring from the pictures. And the pictures, what we are going to insert now is shapes, and below these shapes here you will see these call out symbols. This is the speech bubble, and the speech bubble, I want to put this speech bubble somewhere here. Okay, and we will resize maybe later on according to the uh, data requirement and data things. But for the time being, I have created a speech bubble. It doesn't look like the speech bubble here. So what I will do is I'll mm, first of all, uh, you can go to fill, and I will say no fill. I don't want to have any filling here. And the outline, I want to increase the weight of this outline. And if I make it 3 points, I think that looks fine. And the color of my first uh, call out is this lighter blue. So I'll make this color. So this is the this is looking more like, it's darker blue, so I'll make it darker blue. So but this is something looking like what I wanted to make it look like. And I will change the color. Here is the darker blue, and then I will do the same with this. I will press Control and make two duplicates. Select one, put it on this end, and then I want to select all of them. My don't forget, my this select object is on. Until I press it again, it will remain on. So once we are done with this pictures, we have to switch it off also. So this is done. Now I will go to shape format, align, align middle, and once align middle is done, then distribute horizontally. So they are now distribute horizontally. This way you get the distance in between the same. So there you will not have the inconsistency of different distances between them. All I need to do is I need to change the colors of these. So select this one now, and in this one I will change the outline. You can do it from here by reverse clicking, or you can go here also, shape outline, and this is the same shape outline. I will use maybe this color or this color. This is shape outline, and this one also again shape outline, and I will make it green. Where is this green? Or this green maybe. Okay, so these are the callouts, and this is now things are starting to take shape, guys. We have these 5 placeholders. We'll put this graph later, but we have these 5 placeholders. We have these callouts also. Let's put these headings also. Calls per month. How we will put this calls per month? Again, you can type inside this dashboard also. Now I will switch off this find and select because we have done with the objects. So now we are, if I now put it, now you see you cannot do this. Now I can write here also. There's no harm in writing, but better way. still is to enter the text boxes. How you can enter a text box? You can insert shape again, and you see inside the shapes, and this is the second. First is the speech bubble. You can use from here also, but there is a text box. This text box you can, and if even you can do it from here, or you can insert a text box from here also. On the main Excel uh, ribbon also there is a text box. So wherever you enter the text box from, what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter a text box here. Anywhere it goes, I'll reformat it. I want it to be on top of this, not as big, but what I want to put in this is calls per month. Calls per month. And I want to make it look a bit bigger, maybe size 14 and bold and center. Okay, I will just make it a bit smaller from the top and center here also. And the last but not the least, I will fill it with dark gray color, and I will change the font to white. So this is calls per month, but there is an outline of this text box. I don't want an outline. So if I go to outline, and if I say no outline, that will remove the outline. So this becomes now title of this particular picture. And then the next one here, I will, if what I want to do, again, I'll do the same trick here. I'll select this text box and I will just make 5 duplications. Okay, and I will place them on top of each. I don't want calls per month, but I can change the text later on. Now I have fair idea where I want to place these items, so I'm placing them. I have the picture as a reference, so I'm just pulling them and putting them there. So that will be our placeholders. Okay, guys, it's all peace and quiet. Everybody is so quiet. You are following. You are. This seems interesting or anything, or maybe boring. But it's tedious and painstaking job in the beginning, but end result is good. Okay. Someone speak out, please. Anyone?
Yeah, so far so good. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. I will change this now to ASA because this is the title here, ASA. This is the actually the speed of response. So this is ASA. And the next one is response rate, RR. Next one is service level. And the last one is abandon rate. So we will prepare the abandon rate. Okay, this needs a bit smaller. So what I'll do is I'll reduce the font size here from 14 to 12. But what I'll do, guys, now I want to have all of them the same format, no difference. So what I'll do, if I select this, go to Format Painter, double click Format Painter, and click on this and this and this and this. All of them got the same format. Then I click back on Format Painter and my Format Painter is gone. So all of them are the same format now. Okay, you want to align them together at the same level, you can do that also. But for the time being, I'm done with this. So my placing is done, my speech bubbles is done, So what I'm going to do now, let's go to the data and start looking at what we have to do with this data. Okay, and first thing that we want to do with this data, we want to create some extra columns in this data that are not available. And those extra columns that I need are, number one, I need the month number. Here we will have, I will add the month. We have the date. We don't have the month names here. We have dates in this data. But in some formulas, we will need the month number. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a formula here, and that will give me the month number from this date. So the formula that I'm going to use for this is the month. This is the formula. This will extract the month number from this month. This is the function I'm using, and I will give it the address of the date, which is in column B4. In column B, I'm using row 4. I'll close, and if I enter, that gives me 7th month. Because this date falls in July, so my month is 7th month. Because we want to uh, group this data by months also, so we will use this month number for that particular purpose. So we are in 7th month of the year, and next I want to do is, this data is only for 2020, but uh, in your database management, when you are working with the practical life issues, maybe you will have data for over several years. So it is always good to have the year extracted from the date also. So next thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to extract the year, and the year here, the function I'm going to use again is the same function uh, as I did month. Here I'm going to use the year function, and the function will be year, and again I'll give the same cell address, which is B4, and this should extract the year from this data. So this is the year, month is 7 and year is 2020. That is all the data manipulation we need to do in this particular for this particular dashboard, nothing else. What I'll do, I cannot copy and paste it down, but if I select this and if I just double click here, this populates the entire data set. So all my data now has all the months and years numbered. I just want to see a change from 7 to 8. That's why I'm scrolling down. And once I see the change, I know my formula is working, then we can move on. Okay. Yeah, it does change. So my formula is working. My data is done. The second thing I want to do with this data, guys, as I said, we want to make this dashboard a dynamic dashboard working over a long period of time. Now, this data we can use for preparing a dashboard, but that dashboard will not be dynamic dashboard then, because what we will have to find a way to change the data. But if we convert this data into a data table, now that data table then will become a dynamic data source, and we can add more data, and that data will automatically become part of this table, and that table will always will be reflected in the dashboard, and the dashboard will also get changed. So in this particular dashboard, over these sessions, I'm going to teach you several ways to uh, get data from different sources, and each dashboard is going to have a separate technique and methodology. But uh, for this particular one, we are using only a data table function, and that data table function makes it dynamic. But before I convert this data into data table, I want to use these names also, and I want to use these rows, because it's as I've shown you, 46,000 rows of data. I don't want to be making this effort to select data every time I need to select like this column B, I don't want to start selecting from row 4 and going up to row number 46,000. That will take too much of my time. So what I will do, I will name these ranges, and these column titles will be my names of the ranges. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to convert these named ranges, and the method for doing that is go to formula, and sorry, I have to select my data, and I am in column A3. I will press shift and control and down arrow. It goes to my last filled cell, which is 46,383 row number, and I will again press shift control and right arrow. This comes to the end of my data, the column T, and now with all my data selected, I will go to formula tab. Inside formula, I will go to create from selection, and this should create all the names for me. And that from create from selection, here is what it is suggesting. The top row will become the names. Now top row is the names, top row is this column headings, so these are the names. If I select OK, all these become my named ranges. Now this is my named range. Every range is a named range. So these named ranges then are my working named ranges, and you can see the list if you want. If you go here, name manager, you see all the names listed here. So that is my named ranges. Now the last step I want to do is I want to convert this table into a data table. And how I will do that? Control T, and from Control T, I have the table selected, and with this selection, I have the this is also ticked. My table has headers. That is fine. We want these headers to be there in the table, and if I say OK, my data is converted into a table. And this table, you can change the shape and format, shape and look of the table if you like, but I'm fine with this, with the look of the table. That's okay for me, and it's easier to read, and it's not cluttered. So the last thing I need to do here is I will change the table name, and I will say how to change the table name. We are in the table design, and the table is named table 2. I want to call it TBL or calls underscore TBL. That is calls table. So that is the name of this table for me. I will remember when I am in the process of writing formulas. I will remember this name and I will use this name. So this name is done. If I enter, now my table is named calls table, and my dashboard is at this level. I have put 5 placeholders and these speech bubbles.